What's happening, everybody? It's Sean, joined by my son, Trey, and today we got a Father John Misty albums rankings for you, brought to us by a friend, longtime supporter, and patron of the channel, Josh. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the patrons that make this thing go. If you'd like to support us in any way, check out the Patreon link below or the patron link on the end screen. Now, Trey, between the two of us, you were with me on one of these.
Pure Comedy, we did a track-by-track review of. Yeah.
We did. Now I've done reactions to the other four. So there's only 5 albums. So it's time that we rank them. I appreciate you joining me on this one. And I guess I'll kick it off.
Yeah, go for it, man.
My number 5, or otherwise known as last place, we got his 2012 album, Fear Fun.
Going with the debut, huh?
Going with the debut. Underlying the change in his character. So he had recorded some stuff as Jay Tillman, as Josh Tillman, as Jay Tillman. He didn't really like it. Mm-hmm. He was talking about how it's kind of downer music because that's what he kind of liked growing up. And then when he'd be at a show playing it live, that when he'd come out of that downer and just be a smart aleck to people and talk to them, the crowd really livened up. And he's like, what am I doing? So that's kind of how he took on the moniker of Father John Misty. 12 songs, 43 minutes. My Face, Fun Times in Babylon, Nancy From Now On, I'm Writing a Novel. Solid, no standout songs, but he had changed up how he wrote, so it's going to take me a little while to find that voice. It ranked a 7 out of 10 for me.
Okay. Well, I can already tell we're going to have some disagreements on this ranking right here.
Well, I could tell when I said it, you were like, It's
like, all right, Fear Fun in the bottom. We'll see about that. We'll see where it ends up on my list. But my number 5 here is going to be God's Favorite Customer, his 2018 effort right here. This album, not a bad record by any means, but I think that both lyrically and musically he explored a lot of the themes and ideas on God's Favorite Customer in a better way in his other work. I will say though that Hanging Out at the Gallows starts off to a really strong note as the opener, just kind of gets right into it. Bass work in this whole record is a strong point, evokes religious existential lyrics and themes. Mr. Tillman is pretty strong as well, but then after that I feel the album loses steam just a little bit. Can even get a bit dull, like on the track The Palace, but the title track picks things up with a piano-driven ballad, throws in a harmonica, female backing, driving bass line, as I said. So I have this one at like a 6.5 out of 10 for me. Not a bad album, but if I'm going Father John Misty, I'm going to his other works before I'm checking this one out in full again.
All right. Wow. Well, okay. Yeah, and we're not going to be off on this one too much. I got Pure Comedy at number 4.
Okay. Dude, this is one of the most polarizing albums on the internet of the past decade.
Yeah, I know it is. Most of it was written 2 years before as well, in 2015. You kind of mentioned it touches on the themes of progress, technology, fame, the environment, politics, aging, social media, human nature, human connection, and his own role in it all. Now, you might listen to all of that and go, wow, that's a lot of stuff. It is. That's why it's 13 songs, 74 minutes. My favorites are So I'm Growing Old on Magic Mountain, Total Entertainment Forever, Leaving LA. For me, the things that I don't like about Josh Tillman, is his moniker, Father John Misty, are on full display here. It's like they're all in one place. I'm a Christian, you're a Christian. I don't mind some stuff, like if you're not a Christian, that's fine, man. That's a whole nother discussion. But he really goes all in on a lot of this stuff. And I think just at times for me, Father John Misty thinks he's the smartest guy in the room and he wants you to know it. I think that constant being a smart aleck gets on your nerves after a while. There's a time
in 74 minutes.
Yeah, there's a time to be a little more serious. And it just, that tongue in cheek, he becomes what he makes fun of. Like for me. So yeah, those are the parts that I just can't quite go with FJM. Wow, Trey, I just see your number 4 pick. I think you got it in the wrong place. Would you like me to fix this for you?
Well, I'm going not Pure Comedy next. I'm going his most recent record that came out just this year, Chloë in the Next 20th Century. So of course not as much time spent with this one, but as the name suggests, it throws back to a lot of those big band kind of jazz standard arrangements, even in that 20s kind of Showtime type of feel right there. And I think that's a cool showcase. It does something different than a lot of releases that you're, of course, going to hear. And I think his voice suits that type of arrangement really, really well. Not a lot of standout singles, though. Goodbye, Mr. Blue.
That song is fantastic. Goodbye to the cat, but really to the relationship.
Yeah, that shows he still has his fastball, so to speak, still to this day, a decade plus into his solo career. Buddy, Rendezvous is another highlight, and his vocals are, like I said, just really strong throughout the entire record record with some nice lush arrangements to boot. But that is my number 4. What do you got that at number 3? We're different. We've touched on 4 different albums already.
Well, I got I Love You, Honey Bear from 2015. Was on many best album lists of the year. Josh himself described it as a concept album about himself. It deals with his personal life, including him engaging in a manner of regrettable behavior. That is a publicist chosen statement right there.
I gotta remember that one to use next time.
As well as his relationship with his wife Emma. Because of the album's raw personal nature, he worried about playing the songs live and initially had a hard time playing those songs to people close to him because this album is very, very raw, going through a lot of stuff here. 11 songs, 45 minutes. Bored in the USA, The Ideal Husband, When You're Smiling, and Astride Me. The arrangement's great, sophisticated instrumentation. It's an 8 out of 10 for me, and it's my top 3 are very close together.
No, I think you said a lot of good things there. Is that popping up for me next? No, it's going to be pure comedy. So we're in the same ballpark on that one. I do think the title track, which opens the record, is up there with his best work. Ballad of the Dying Man, 2 wildly different perspectives, are also really strong. It is mostly driven by the piano, and maybe that hinders it in the sense there's not a ton of variation musically.
Like there is in some of the other.
Yeah, and whenever you're clocking at an hour and 15, minutes or so,
you need some variation, brother.
So that's why it's a couple spots lower for me. I can see why people would have this at number 1, but I've seen a lot of people have it at number 5 on their rankings as well. Like I said, it is a very divisive album, but I don't really revisit this one in full. But I think it's an impressive kind of existential overview, touching on a lot of different topics, and I do tip my cap to the artistic statement and just trying to showcase that. So that is my number 3 right there. What do you got that at number 2?
What was your number 4? Chloë in the Next 20th Century, from this year as we filmed this. Recorded between August and December of 2020. There was so many albums released in 2022. We're recording in 2020 because of the pandemic. Draws inspiration, you said, from the big band jazz, standards, and traditional pop. It's distinguished because it is a cinematic quality. Old Hollywood, as you mentioned, 20s, but all the way up through the 60s. And I think it has a more hopeful tone. I think it's more mature than the rest of his albums. You mentioned it when you were talking about it. His voice is perfectly suited for this. He sounds fantastic. Every note, he hits everything on cue. 11 songs, 50 minutes. I got the same thing you do. Goodbye, Mr. Blue. Buddy's Rendezvous, 8.25 for me, and could have made a run at number 1 for me.
No, I do think it is a strong record, but not as strong as my number 2 here, which was
definitely different.
Your number 5 somehow. We have his debut, Fear Fun, in here. Again, I think this one showcases some cool production techniques here. We have some impressive vocal layering. Oh, I Long to Feel Your Arms Around Me in particular does that in a great way. You got a ragtime piano that actually pops up on a few of the different tracks as well. I'm Writing a Novel is notable for that. Only Son of the Ladies Man could fit onto any Fleet Foxes record. Of course, FJM, it was with Fleet Foxes kind of in the early part of their career before branching off to himself. And just overall, a lot of indie folk type greatness on Fear Fun right here. And interesting kind of Americana blend too, with the organ work. So this was pretty varied for me. And, this pure comedy and my number 1 are all kind of in that same sort of ballpark for me. So then I had to nitpick. I was like, okay, pure comedy is a little long, so that's where I put 3. And I just I like my number 1 just a little bit more.
This is going to show how far off we are.
Wow, yeah. My number 5 is your number 1. 2 wildly different perspectives, right?
Oh yeah, this album is fantastic. God's Favorite Customer. 10 songs, 38 minutes. You got to understand, Trey, what went into all of this. He wrote it in 2 months. I was staying at a New York hotel. Him and Emma were on the outs, and he just did a bunch of crazy. He would scale up the hotel and go through his balcony. Like he was dealing with depression and delusions. He was doing so many drugs. He was seeing things.
Okay.
So most real and personal record for me. Like he was writing. The smartassness gets set to the side, man. And Josh Tillman comes out.
He's at rock bottom.
He's at rock bottom, and sometimes your best material comes out. I mean, I'm sorry you had to go through that, but
he's kind of looking like he was on the cover then. Right?
Yeah. That's exactly why the cover is what it is. 10 songs, 38 minutes. Hang out at the gallows. Mr. Tillman has a Jason Isbell shout out because Jason Isbell sees him in the lobby of this hotel.
Oh.
and was concerned for him. And Isabel talked about it in an interview and said, if you guys would have seen him, you'd have been awfully concerned too. And I mean, Jason has his own history of drug abuse. He knows what it looks like. The Palace, just dumb enough to try. Great lyricism. Raw uses his intelligence to pour his heart out to Emma instead of his sarcasm. It's an 8.5 for me, Trey. So we could gladly cut this so you could reconsider your pick, but that being very last, because that's insane to me. But
no, that's why I like doing these rankings, and we obviously didn't
check
each other's list.
Yeah, a lot of times we're similar. This time you're just off, but that's okay, man.
Well, my number one, I Love You, Honey Bear.
I mean, that
2015.
that was right up there. Like,
I think that this just kind of puts all the greatness of Father John Misty all onto kind of one record, whether you're talking arrangements, which again are very lush with those strings, and a very introspective album, as a lot of his work is. A lot of a romantic record, this one is as well. Love theme picks up too. You have horns, even a little almost mariachi sequence in one of his best tracks, Chateau Lobby number 4. When You're Smiling in Astride Me showcases a soulful arrangement, so again, kind of vary things up a little bit on this. Thirsty Crow showcases some awesome pedal steel guitar. So again, just showcasing how many different instruments are on this record. Kind of evokes a saloon bar vibe. Strange Encounter is catchy, leans all into that sweet lushness, and Ideal Husband shows him confessing his worst traits, and then that kind of goes into some explosive guitars and keys, and closes on a very heartfelt note as he ponders his past and present and future with Emma. So
yeah, and that album could have been, I mean, my top 3, I Love You, Honey Bear, Chloë in the Next 20th Century, and God's Favorite Customer. Very close. God's Favorite Customer is a stand-up for him. Pure Comedy and Fear Fun are by far, for me, my least 2 favorite albums. So the other 3, you could argue with me a little bit, but I'm telling you, man, I got the right one at number 1.
No, just looking at our list, I'll be curious. We, of course, want to know from you down below, which... What is your ranking?
We've never done a ranking that was this far off.
And I like it too because hey, he's only got 5 albums.
Yeah.
So and
it's simple.
It's interesting that even with 5, they were that varied, that different, which I guess showcases kind of the versatility that FJM has as an artist, right?
Yeah, and I've gone in on several of these reactions saying how a lot of times those certain parts I just talked about earlier of his personality get on my nerves. I will tell you, he was here 8 days ago in Dallas, and I just couldn't go. I wanted to go, and I wasn't able to go. I would have went and watched him in person.
Oh, for sure.
He's mega talented. His voice is fantastic. His songwriting is brilliant. Yeah,
man. So let us know your thoughts on Father John Misty in your rankings. Be sure to show some love to Josh. Josh Tillman, and our patron Josh.
Yeah, patron Josh.
Requested for us to do this.
And let us know who you think had the better list before you share your list. I'm just curious.
Yeah, definitely, man. I look forward to winning that. And man, we have like my dad said, we have reviews to all of these up.
All of them.
So you can check that out if your heart desires. But I guess that'll wrap it up from us today. And so until next time, thanks for watching, y'all. Happy listening, and we will see you.